Right, well, we're up in the mountains and I had an option to go on a guided tour with a whole bunch of other people. I'm here with my family. It's our last opportunity to get up into the bush, and the guide basically turned around, took one look at me and said, okay, this is a 6-hour walk up there, so it's going to be a long one. It's 3 now, means I'll be coming home after dark. We'll get to see some good woodlands. At the moment I'm surrounded by pine. It's beautiful. I don't know if it's a plantation or if this is normal. I'm going to have to find out. There's a large amount of underbrush, ferns, the occasional cricket and frogs. I better stop wasting time and get stuck in. Here's what the mission is. Get up the tops. Have a look around, see if we can get above this cloud and see what we can see. Once I start getting up into the real tops, I'm going to see if I can spot some deer. No sooner said than done, and I'm in the cloud. Now there's a couple of things about being up here. One, you've got to remember, it's bloody hot. So I began to overheat a wee bit. This piece of kit I've got over my shoulder looks a bit odd. It's called a rain cape from World War II, and it can double as a tent shelter, as a stretcher, bivy bag, and as a poncho. It's quite handy actually. Now, you don't hear that many frogs back home in New Zealand anymore. But here, they're everywhere. What a sound. It's like a shrill car alarm or something. And doesn't it just make you feel at home, seeing all these tree ferns? What a sight. Something up there. Something. That's really cool. Feeling a bit exposed here. I really need a knife. Something just moved through the bush away from me. Something really big. That's not a pig. And it's not good because I'm downhill from them. Pigs usually charge downhill. Anyway, back to the frogs. Isn't that an amazing sound? Rising and falling in waves as they run out of breath. Take a breath and then start again. I simply have to find out what's making that noise. Turns out they've got sandflies here. They just got me in the neck. The earth here is a loamy clay. They're up in the trees. That noise is coming from up there. Well, I've been nosy, but I don't like the looks of this place, and it sure as hell doesn't like the looks of me, so time for me to go. You get that feeling every once in a while when there's bush that you just don't feel right in. That's it up there. I'm not going up there. Look at that. Let's see what's around that corner. Here is one of my curses. I get around to the corner. I get around to a corner and all I can see is another corner. And all I want to do is just know what's beyond that next corner. It's my biggest weakness. It's so hard to ignore. It's like a magnetic pull. You hate it when you can't get the camera to operate fast enough. I just had a pig just here. He's rushed off behind the hut. Oh, give me a fright. This must be a hunter's hut. God, there's spiders everywhere. And there's their access trail to their hunting grounds where they lay their traps. And after seeing one of those traps, yeah, I think I'll leave that be. I don't want to disturb where they hunt. It's supposed to have gone up the mountain today. God damn it. I better walk back. I don't want to. But I better. Just look at all that grass. Spiders everywhere. The big, sort of poisonous kind. One last big corner, and then I'll head back. Okay. Straight up, straight down, not much quarter in between. Right. That corner over there. I'll go around that. And then I'll go back. Okay, now I believe them. This place is really unstable. I heard a rumbling here, and there's rocks right above me, ready to fall down. Road is like some long forgotten castle. with its buttresses half buried and completely forgotten. I don't want to linger here. This whole thing's moving. Shit. Oh man, the road's undercut. Well, no wonder they shot it. This place is buggered. Still, beats Ponsonby. Man, does it beat Ponsonby. Wow. Hard to believe, but underneath all this is a road. Dirty great big slabs of it coming down. And they weren't kidding when they said this whole place was unstable. Well, off to the corner, and then I'll make my way back before it gets too dark. Oh, shit. This whole thing's unstable, and there's a dirty great big drop just here. I'm going to go up a bit. I would not want to drop down there. Damn. Well, I tell you what. Nobody's come through here. No one. There's no track. It's crawling with living creatures. Ah! Ow! This grass, it's got thorns on it. Ah, shit. This would be a bad place to get stung or bitten. This would be real bad. Shit. I don't think. Ow! Look at those thorns. I can't go any further. Not alone. Maybe if I just... Ow! Damn. Those things hurt. I'll tell you something. It's just starting to get dark. I'm just... God damn it. I'm just too far away. This area is so overgrown that it's been years since it's been used. God. There's a pig track here now. So maybe I can make better progress. Let's see if I can make the corner. Damn it. It's a big cut. And this is a washout. Just around the corner. Just around the corner. I don't know if I got that last time, so try one last time. My biggest curse my biggest weakness. And I just have to find out what is around this corner. Ooh. God damn it. One last push. I've got 250 meters behind me of nasty blade cutting grass, which is just the type that snakes love. I really am pushing it here. My hand's bleeding like a bitch. Here we go. Sometimes you just gotta trust the luck. Yes, it's foolhardy. Yes, I'm a stupid idiot. I know I'm a stupid idiot. I've always been a stupid idiot. But curiosity killed the cat. Fair enough. At least the cat knew just before it waddled off this mortal soil. Man. Okay. Cut to pieces. This is it. Here's the corner. Man. And I am a mere 6k away from home base. And I feel like I've been in the jungle for months. A lot more tiring going through here. Well, well, well. That's a big spider on my arm. And this stuff just doesn't get any shorter. Come on, I gotta be able to see a view here somewhere. Ow. Wow. Thank you, God. So, welcome to the dark side of the moon. My battery's nearly out. I've gotten to the corner and it's almost dark. Time to go. Well, I hope I never have to do that again. That grass, this stuff here, it's as sharp as razors. And I'm cut all over my arms. Most of the blood's washed away now, but yeah. Stinging like mad. All sorts of things crawling over me. Matter of fact, I'm a little bit worried about taking my clothes off in a hurry. I don't know what I'm going to find. Drizzling lightly now, and the light's fading. This is the magic hour. This is when things start coming out. All in little nighttime critters. They'll all start nosing out to eat. But me, I think it's dinner time. Nice hot shower and fond memories. I love this stuff. God. Soaking wet. And I don't care. because it's warm and I'm happy. As a matter of fact, being soaking wet in this sort of environment, it's just glorious. Although I'll have to make sure I keep an eye on my feet. It's really easy to get trench foot here. That's where your skin becomes waterlogged and then begins to rot. Not a very pleasant thing to happen. But the size of that tree. Oh, wicked. Oh. Taiwan's a fantastic place. If you're into something outside of your box, you want to give yourself a challenge, start walking. Get out of the tourist scene and get up into this stuff. It's so worth it. There's something barking down there. It's not a dog. Ugh. I can hear deer. That's very cool. Up that way, back the way I came. They must have come across my tiny frog. Must have come across my my smell, my track. But yeah, get off the beaten track. Get out of the bus. Get away from all those people with loudspeakers and microphones trying to cluster people together like sheep. Don't be a sheep. Don't be a sheep. You miss out on so much. So, like this. Miss out on so much. Like this. Oh look, it's a road. There's that smell of something dead again. Wonder if I'm being followed by the girl in the little red dress. Wonder if she'll do an interview. Oh, that's right, you're not supposed to look behind you. If you look behind you and you see her, you're dead, apparently. She must be pro-independence. Oh man. Seriously? What a country. Remember, this sort of thing is bloody dangerous. Going out by yourself, no one knowing where you're going, it's a damn stupid idea. Not many people can do it, and I certainly shouldn't be. But it's what I do. And someday it's going to catch up with me, bite me in the bum. In order to go out and do this sort of thing, you should at least have a lot of tramping experience. You should know your kit, feel really confident about your bushcraft, how to light a wet fire, really important, how to purify water, how to boil water without using any equipment. You need so many skills that take years and years of practice. And I've been goofing off for 25 years now. Should have followed a career, but I didn't. So I'm poor. I can never afford to retire. But I get to do this sort of stuff, which is alright. If you do want to do this sort of thing, start off easy. Get into the bush by yourself, somewhere close, with a compass, take a bearing to the way you know where the track is, and camp out a bit. Don't use a tent. Learn how to live like a wild boar under trees and overhangs. The more you do it, the more confident you get. But never underestimate mountains. because they're not on your side, they're only on their own side. And if you're weak in the head, in the skills department, you don't know what you're doing, this place can be a very lonely place indeed. For those of you fruitcakes who are into this sort of nonsense, well, all I can say is that go hard, get to Taiwan, get off the beaten track, have fun, stay safe, and calculate every single risk you take. Go out a few times with locals. Get to know what you're looking for. The poisonous creatures like the spiders, centipedes, and especially the snakes. Learn what they look like, learn about where you can find them. Stay away from those places. Just walked over a gutter, that's one place. Seriously? If you feel confident, for example, if I sprain my ankle, for example, if you feel confident and you get caught out in the bush, don't panic. You're not going to die. You'll be wet, you'll be uncomfortable, but you might as well sing yourself a little song or do a bit of whistling if you can. Make yourself a wee home and sit back and enjoy everything nature throws at you, because it's a gift. And a beautiful one at that, with all the sounds and all the little creatures all minding their own business. Take lots of photographs, and if you carry something in, carry it back out again. Because otherwise you end up being like mainland Chinese person, leaving litter and rubbish, and spoiling it for everybody. Pig, 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 pig. Well, I'm back at the hotel now. When the last video cut out on you, I'd managed to see a pig gutting it away through the jungle, and my video card then became full. So I've knocked off a wee bit of footage just to say a couple of things about my descent, which turned out to be an adventure in itself. Apart from seeing that pig, went around the next corner, a couple of squirrels with an interesting alarm call. They kind of make a ooh, ooh sound. I thought I was hearing monkeys there for a while, but it turned out to be squirrels. Saw a black and white pheasant or a peacock, I'm not sure, and went around a couple of other corners, and I was moving quietly and fairly quickly because I like to see what I can bump into, and came around the other corner, and there was a large cat about the same size as golden retriever, and covered in spots. It looked up and hackles went up, and it gave a dirty great big howl and a hiss, and scared the absolute crap out of me. So I took this thing off and just wove it around my head and shouted and yelled and dove into the bush, and I went past at a great rate of knots, and continued to go down a bit shakily. It was a bit unnerving. I'll be honest, I was absolutely bloody terrified. Went down a bit further, and there was a pig on the track, quite a large one, about knee high. They're not terribly big here, but I'm told that a knee high pig is actually quite large. So I had to leave the beaten track to get around that, and then a little bit further down I managed to sidle around another pig, grunting away and breaking branches as it was travelling. And I got to tell you, I am never going into a jungle on my own again. There's just no way. It's too bloody scary. Especially when you don't have a knife or a rifle or a spear or anything to defend yourself. It's really quite unnerving. The sounds I don't mind. Being in the bush when it's dark and spooky, I don't mind that at all. I'm pretty confident I'm one of the scariest items in the bush, but not in this bush, this jungle. There's scarier things than me, and yeah, I don't want to go through that again. That was not much fun. When I was coming down off this, there's a ridge. You can't see it. There's a ridge line just up here, and I was coming down that, and I heard deer barking, sort of a "Rawr, rawr," sort of weird sort of sound. And I'm told that that's a deer, and oh, I'm still a bit shaky. That really was quite something. But came down here, and the ranger was here, and I described the cat to the ranger, and his eyes went quite wide. Looked very surprised indeed, and turns out it's some kind of mountain cat, which is almost extinct. And yeah, I didn't get it on camera, so it's a bit of a disappointment. There's something crawling on my... That's better. This place just moves, especially at night. Man, there's nothing like a jungle at night. I'm never doing that again. I'm here at Taiwan National Pingdong University, and we're just tracking down what kind of an animal that I saw the other day when I was up at the resort in the mountains. And they're telling me that it sounds like something that hasn't been seen for about 50 years. So I'm just helping them find exactly where I saw it. If we can get a map up, I'll be able to show them exactly where I saw it, and then hopefully they can send someone up there to try and track it down. Because it would be great if they, if they can actually track it down.
Here.
Yeah. Oh, so that's the end of the line there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, can we... I need to see a top... Yeah, satellite. Ah, here we go. Okay. Let me see. Cheers. And I was walking back along this track here, which is now an abandoned road. It's been washed out since 1998. Yeah, there's signs up and it said no entry, and I went, ooh. So I walked in there, and the first thing I noticed was there were spider webs all the way across the entire thing. No one's been up on that track for a very long time. Now, I was coming back, I'd gotten to this point here, which would be just there, and it's all thick grass through to around about here. You know, I mean, I gotta tell you, I've never been so scared in all my life. I didn't have a knife or anything. I come around the corner, and this thing, obviously I got the drop on it. In other words, I surprised it, and it just bounced sideways, opened its mouth, and went, like that.
Threaten you.
Yeah. That's why I was carrying a ground sheet, just in case I got stuck out, late at night or I was injured, I would be able to wrap myself up. And I pulled that off and I whirled it around my head and yelled my head off, and this thing just tore back into the bush. Like hell.
But wow.
Yeah, well, I got to tell, I ran a lot further than I normally run because I was really scared. Yeah.
Is cloud leopard?
Right, clouded leopard.
Yeah. It used to stay in the southeast east way of the Taiwan mountain, and south in the south of Taiwan. Yeah, around there. And also, it's should be in the 100.
That's the
size. This is the size. So
that's the size
when you told me about this, I was thinking, is that possible? But it's also the first thing I say no to myself, because for about 50 years or more, we don't have this kind of animal in the wild. Nobody see him.
Well, I got to tell you, it was not a little tiny pussycat. It was a lot larger than a small cat.
Yeah,
and I don't know about your animals, so.
And actually, He usually like hunt like this. He will climb on a tree and jump down.
So I caught him basically on the ground while he was moving.
Yes.
Okay, which would make sense, I guess, because it being just on dusk, he would have been moving.
And here is his.
Okay.
Yeah, you maybe even see some.
Serious? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had teeth like the top ones was, quite yellow. That's all I really saw. He sort of dropped the jaw on me and gave me a good hiss. I just far out.
Maybe we can find some English.
Wow. Well, okay, now that I know what it is, hang on, I'll just get the name of it here. It's got the Latin and also the size, which is about right. Far out. Well, hopefully one of their research team is going to get back in touch with me and we'll find out. Well, I'll be able to tell them more about what I've seen in a bit more detail. I won't look up the animal quite so much yet because I want to keep my impression quite fresh so I don't get confused. So what I'll do is I'll wait for their email or see how we go and we'll see what it really was. You never know. It'd be kind of neat if it was the first sighting in 50 years. Back in 1998 they found footprints, so they're around, but how many of them, no idea. So. Staggering, right? Well, we're back at the site in Hui Sun. This is Po Jin Chang. Is that right? Chang? No. This is Po Jin Chang. He's the expert in the Clouded Leopard in Taiwan. So what we're doing is we're packing up and we're going to head out and have a look at a couple of places, including the place where I saw the cat. And hopefully we'll be able to put out some motion cameras and capture this thing in the wild. Well, we're back up at the hunter's hut and I'm a bit disappointed to say that there's been some illegal poachers in the area. There's a still slightly warm fire inside this hut. There's fresh motorcycle tracks, which means that they've blasted up here on motorcycles, which means the whole area has been alerted. We're going to try to push on a little bit further up the road, that wonderful road that I had so much fun climbing through. I said I'd never want to do that again. Yeah, well, that's typical. So we're going that way, and we'll put a camera down by the reservoir as well. But if I was to make any bets, well, if it was a red deer, he would have shot down the valley, up inside here and around. I'd be well out of it. We'll see how we go. Again. Here we go. So, what exactly are we doing here?
You said
Yes.
you saw Clouded Leopard nearby this area.
Well, I saw something and I have been told that there really is no other option for what it could be.
Okay.
I'm not going to say it's a clouded leopard, but I know that I saw a big cat. It's bigger than a domestic cat.
Okay.
I'm sure it's a cat.
Okay.
All right. The descriptions that you've given me pretty well, match my descriptions, because I came to you without any prior knowledge of your animals. I saw this big cat, and I described it to the scientists at Pingdong University, who were very surprised because I described to them, as far as they were concerned, something that hasn't been seen for a long time.
Okay.
So that's news to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why we are here.
So on the opportunity or the hope that it is a clouded leopard, here we are.
Okay, it's not too bad just to give it a try.
Well, exactly.
So we came here, and right now we just try to put the camera trap here to see, and later we will put some bait, and I think we bring a fish the salty fish. And probably, I think I will also put some catnip, dry catnip.
So you're actually going to put catnip out?
Yeah, some dry catnip. Who knows? Okay. So I will see. Originally, I want to put aluminum pipe pan.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so maybe it will spin in the wind to attract you said the curiosity will kill.
Oh yeah.
So, but because there was some hunters son here, so probably at this side I probably will keep it a lower profile. I'm not going to hang an aluminum pipe pan here, but I will in another side. So for here I will just use the camera with the raw fish and with some dry catnip, and hopefully if a clouded leopard come across nearby, smell it, come to investigate, and we can get the great shot, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Okay, fingers crossed. Okay.
Now, what do they feed on? I mean, what are the prey species that they would go after?
Here, I would think the mountain jack, a small barking deer, just like a big dog, and also the sirah is a mountain goat here in Taiwan, and also they like primates, the macaques here.
Yeah, for example, what's that noise we can hear?
It's a jay. It's a jay. J-A-Y, and the jay.
J-A-Y?
Yeah.
Oh, Jay. Oh,
Oh, it's a jay. Yeah.
oh okay. Bird.
It will mimic the sounds of hawk eagles, that kind of things.
Oh, that's not very fair for hunters.
Okay, so okay. And macaque and foreign literatures have collected 7 skeletons of clouded leopards, and 4 of them consisted of remains from primates.
Primates?
So, primates.
Okay.
So I think they're good at climbing trees to hunt macaques. So here, and pheasants, of course, and pangolins. These are kind of their prey here in Taiwan, I think.
So they're ambush predators?
Yeah, ambush. Maybe in the bush, maybe on trees.
Okay.
Yeah, hand upside down to jump onto the prey.
Right, okay.
Yeah, they have a spatial structure of their feet, the palm.
Oh, right.
Quite large, relatively large.
Yes.
Yeah, relatively short.
Short legs.
Easy
to hang on to
yeah.
a limb.
And they can spin and make a very large angle.
Oh, right.
So they can actually go down trees with the head turned facing down. There's no other cats. They only want two cat species. One is clouded leopard, another one is margay in South America. Yeah.
It's basically able to climb like a gecko. To climb straight up and straight down.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No. All right. Well, okay. So, I think that's all we.
你觉得呢？
这我不粘，
就惨了，一根这样直这样惨，你觉得呢？
那它怎么吃？
就来就不要吃也没关系啊。
吃啊，
哎呀，不要给它吃掉啊
是。可以用粘的，这我不粘。
对啊。
Field technician Leo is putting out the bait, which is some raw fish. He's going to tie it around to the tree. The bait is laid more to get the cat's attention than anything else. The cats not being scavengers, it will just be merely interested and come to have a sniff. If anything, it'll come for the catnip. Speaking of which,
You want some?
oh yes please. I'll be bouncing home.
Some scientists use a special method technique to survey cats. We call hair snails.
Yes.
And we put out some special rope stuff, maybe a copy with some nails or maybe a velcro, that kind of things, and put some catnip on it. So when the cat, even leopard or cat, whatever, they will rub on it, and we can get some hairs so that we can know what species it is. And that's kind of typical hand and aluminum pipe pan
Mm-hmm.
with this kind of rub stuff here with dry catnip or maybe sometimes catnip oil. Yeah. So that's pretty cheap.
Very good
You just
idea.
need to check frequently. I mean, cheaper than camera traps.
Yeah.
So, but I've tried that. It didn't work
Didn't?
because too much rain here
Oh, I see.
and too many ants, and the rodents, and the mouse, the rat that they will just come here. I don't know. They like the catnip. Even the goat
Really?
will chew.
What, the catnip?
Maybe the catnip oil, maybe some salt or something like that. Muskrat, goat, even simple deer. So I have no idea. So it just didn't work. And also the first place I tried to investigate is a very remote area. We need to backpack all of the stuff, camping gears, rope, camera traps with backpacks, maybe up to 30 kilograms, and get all the way hike in, maybe a week, 2-week trip. Yeah, just go in and get outside. So it's not easy to check the hair snail frequently. So even there is hares, maybe they will be washed out by torrential rains, typhoons. We have torrential rain season, which is current right now, and later on in the summer there are typhoon seasons. So that's a challenge during my study. Yeah.
I think of weight, weight is a big issue.
Yeah.
So this is the motion camera.
Yeah, infrared.
Infrared, so the flash isn't actually a bright flash, it's an infrared burst.
It's infrared burst, yeah.
Oh, great, so the animal isn't actually disturbed.
Theoretically. I think for most animals, yes.
Oh.
For some, I don't know. Some people say bears could see.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure. And right now I'm going to use a lock
because of the hunters in the area?
I don't want the hunters to get the cloudy leopard pictures and impress.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes, right, yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yes, there is quite a bit of a drop there, isn't there? Scree walking. So much fun. We've decided to bug out and put a couple of more camera traps up. What we're going to be doing is we're basically going to be leaving this area to it. Pojan has a report to hand over, so we're going to get out of here and make it a one-trip wonder, which is pretty cool. But he's coming back in a couple of weeks' time to put out more camera traps. He's probably going to end up somewhere out the back of beyond here, and not a terribly bad place to be carrying gear, although it's very, very steep. I'm walking down this side of the track, walking along, and I step out around about here, and where those packs are is a cat, about the same length as that pack, with a tail just about as long. It sees me, hisses, I pull out my rain cape, give it a wave around my head, and believe me, a hell of a yell, and it ducks back through that little gap. This is where it all happened. We're now going to test the camera. Unfortunately, we can't see the flash because it's all in infrared.
No, this is not infrared.
Well, that's not infrared.
This is proper.
That's a proper flash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it the other one?
Yeah, the other one.
Oh.
So that's why now I jump over the infrared, invisible infrared. Huh? Okay. Yeah, because the light is enough. It's not too dark, so it does not need the flash.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it does not. It's enough flash. So I think if I jump through, I think they actually may take a picture of me.
What are you doing?
Imagine I am a clouded leopard, right?
Okay.
Okay, Yeah, wait, I'm going to let it to take a picture.
Ah. So when the red light comes on,
That's in test mode.
in test mode.
For instance, motion.
Yeah.
If in motion, it will blink. And right now I'm going to turn on into actual working mode.
Right.
And it will take a real picture. And I want to see the general range to see whether it could see the animal clearly or not.
So we're going to get a great picture of you on all fours, crawling.
You can make the cloudy leopard coat way down.
Okay.
转过经典哦，再转它，再转过来的这样子。对。哦。I'm not working. 好了，这不是味道吗？
We just had a bit of a scare. We put the other raw fish underneath this rock, and when we lifted up the rock, there's one of those poisonous centipedes inside. It's about that thick across and about that long. So, no thanks. He actually did it!
Picture?
No picture, no. You managed to jump right over it.
I hope the cloudy leopard. Ah.
One of the silliest things I've ever seen. Well, Jen will come back in a few weeks to check on his camera traps. At this present point in time, there are poachers and hunters in this area who have only just recently arrived in the last 24 hours. We found their campsites, new rubbish, new footprints, new traps. And the really bad part about it is the traps are indiscriminatory. They catch everything. So, not a good sign. The understory here is incredibly thick. I mean, have a look for yourself. It's just a maze of leaves and stalks. Even with the bigger stuff, finding anything through here is a case of trying to find their tracks and passing through a lot of leech-infested jungle with snakes and centipedes and all the good things that crawl. Bojan has a huge job ahead of him, but if he sticks with it and the hunters don't end up sort of ruining everything, he'll find this thing. The big question now is it just a matter of time before the scientists manage to capture an image of this big cat, or the poachers and hunters finally catch the last possible chance we have of re-establishing a species. I've marked the spot where the cat was seen with the Union Jack flag, so now all it is just a waiting game and trusting to luck in country like this.